We should start by defining what are public works. Infrastructure projects paid for and constructed by the government for recreational, employment, health, and safety issues are part of public works. These include public buildings, such as municipal buildings and schools, transport systems like roads, railroads, and bridges, public spaces, and public services like water supply, sewage, electrical grid, and dams. Public works are a major part of what we do each and every day. So what is a public works security specialist? It is a person who is responsible for assessing vulnerability of critical and public infrastructure such as power grids, water systems, gas pipelines, and develop strategies to eliminate or reduce risk. These are the people who make it safe to use public works. So why is this field important? It is important for a number of reasons. First of all, cyberterrorism is the newest and perhaps the most destructive forms of terrorism in the 21st century. Several presidential administrations have issued executive orders underscoring the need to secure our critical infrastructure. Critical infrastructure are systems and assets so vital to the U.S. that incapacity or destruction would have a crippling impact on national or economic security. National public health or safety. And obviously we don't want that. So as guardians of critical infrastructure, public works agencies are responsible for securing their cyber systems. They work to keep their systems functional and secure in order to safeguard the public. Thank you. I will now turn it over to Morgan to discuss public works vulnerabilities.
Thank you. My name is Morgan Mason and I am a 10th grader at Paul International High School. There are many reasons why vulnerabilities exist in public works systems. I will describe a few of them here. Point number 1, legacy architecture of public works systems are easy to compromise. Point 2, increasing dependency on automation and control systems to manage the devices. We are moving away from operators sitting at desks to control devices. We want to automate these systems. Point number 3, use of wireless technologies to support remote outposts. Point number 4, it is difficult for public works to obtain funding for cybersecurity and control system environments. Departments have to fight for the same limited budget. Point number 5, considerable amount of open source known information is available regarding control systems. Because these systems have been around for so long, so much has been written about them. This means that exposure of public works data on public networks operating in a public domain on public service may lead to exposure on back-end networks. Public works are a major part of what we do each and every day. What you see here is an example of a controlled network for a mixing device. There are 2 transmitters and a mixing tank. In the past, a person would have to sit at a computer shown here to operate these devices. Now with automation and the addition of control systems, this work can be done remotely. So because of the internet, the red arrows show all the places where a person can access those devices now. The internet has exposed previously isolated control systems to cyber attacks from the world. Thank you. Now here's Michaela to talk more about cyber vulnerability.
Thank you. My name is Michaela Hill and I'm an 8th grader at Allensdale Middle School in Washington, D.C. Morgan spoke about the control network and how it's exposed to the world because of the internet. I'm going to speak about the steps to improve control of these networks. Step 1, identify connections to control networks. So in every place with the red arrow needs to be known. Step 2, disconnect unnecessary connections to the control network. This is expected if you don't need to connect the connection point. Then shut it down. Step 3, evaluate and strengthen the security of any remaining connections to the control network. Step 4, implement internal and external intrusion detection systems and establish 24-hour-a-day monitoring. Know how to access your network both internally and externally 24 hours a day. Step 5, perform technical audits of control network devices and networks of any other connection networks to identify security concerns audits showed that systems are performing the way that they were meant to be performed. Step 6, establish network red teams to identify and evaluate possible attack scenarios. A red team will test the networks by simulating an attack and seeing how all systems perform. Some of you may know that these networks are called SCADA. We may use control networks to make it generic. Next, I will discuss some public works system attacks that you may have heard about, but first, the good news. Threats continually exist, but malicious attacks have not resulted in major casualties. The 2003 North American blackout was started by downtree caused a utilities company power to go out in pause mode, cutting power to people in several states and illustrating the effect an intruder would have had on the power grid. In August 2003, the Nuclear Regulatory Commission confirmed the sudden work had infected the nuclear power plant, disabling a safety monitoring system for nearly 5 hours. The plant process computer failed and took about 6 hours to become available again. If a terrorist had performed an attack that caused this to occur, they could have done serious damage to the American public. In 2009, while there were 10 generators down at the Russian dam, a technician 500 miles away restarted it, sending the generators 50 feet into the air before exploding. The resulting flood killed 75 people and destroyed 8 of the 9 remaining generators. We need to get prepared before something catastrophic occurs. Now I will turn it over to Jasmine.
Hello, my name is Jasmine Mann and I'm an 8th grader at Robert Goddard Montessori. Next I will discuss some cyber threats that exist that make control networks vulnerable. Bot network operators. These people use robots to take over multiple systems. They can take control over several waterways or power plants that cause a widespread outage. Hackers. These people take over systems just for the fun of it. Terrorists. These people want to scare the public, and what better way to scare the public than to execute attacks that result in casualties? Now I will be talking about education and certifications. You will need a 2-year associate's degree and a 4-year bachelor's degree. These degrees can be in just about any subject, although a technical degree is preferred. You'll also need skills in network engineering, information security, and specialties in control system security. Most people also receive on-the-job mentoring. Now I will be talking about job market outlook and salaries. Growth in cyber crimes and local and national focus on securing critical infrastructure has increased the need for public works security specialists. With opportunities in both public and private sectors, outlook is excellent. The median salary in 2012 is $75,000 per year. The lowest 10%, $43,000 per year, and the highest 10%, $119,000 per year. In closing, the STEM judge would like to thank you for listening to our discussion on public works security specialists. We have learned a lot about this field, and we appreciate the opportunity to let you know it. Thank you, and have a great evening.
I don't know. I was supposed to. I don't know if I'm